Welcome, everybody. Hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. I am, because the markets have kind of flattened out here, which is good. The fact that they're holding above 30K, especially with all the Terra Luna stuff going on, that's bullish. It's good news here. 31K, totally flat on the 24 hours. I think that is definitely positive news for the markets. Hopefully this is the bottom right here. Green fear, obviously it's going to be low. It's at 10. It was at 11 yesterday. Unless the markets see a significant upswing in price, then this isn't going to change. Remember, it measures fear this day and time, not over the next few days. So this isn't really bad news. And if anything, this is kind of good news, like I covered yesterday, because it never really goes below 10 or 11. It happens about 4 or 5 times per year. And then the last 4 times it hit 10 or 11. The market actually started big upswings right at that exact point, basically. These are the 4 times in the last year it's hit either 10 or 11. 2 of them, these 2, the market started its upswing immediately that day. And then the other 2, these 2, the market went sorted down for about 2 or 3 more days, and then it started its long multi-month upswing. So it looks like anytime, the greed and fear hits 10, 11, the bottom is in, or at least, that's what the last year has told us. This could be good news here. It's BTC inflows, they hit yesterday's inflows for BTC into exchanges was the highest since November of 17. So this was presented as kind of bearish negative news. It's really not. People think it's bearish news typically because when BTC goes into exchanges, most people think it's going in there to be converted to stable coins or to just be totally sold off and converted into fiat. So people generally get worried when large amounts of BTC is flowing into exchanges. But the last time it was this high of BTC inflows, November 2017, that was the start of the big bull run there from 5K to 20K. And then in addition, all the inflows from yesterday, that was just a one-off event, which we'll discuss later, but there's a lot of BTC going into exchanges to be sold off, converted into Luna to rescue Terra Luna because of their sort of incident yesterday. So this was just a one-off incident, not anything indicative of anything important. A lot of people are bullish. El Salvador bought the dip yesterday, bought 500 BTC at a price of $30,500. It's about $15 million total, so it's pretty big for a country like that. Obviously, their BTC payment program down there, it's been, hit or miss, not hugely successful, but as traders, they appear to be pretty savvy. If this is the start of a bull run, they literally bought it right at the bottom, $30,500. Well, so the people bullish, Jesse Powell, he says he'll go all in if it hits 20, and he also said that he doesn't even see it going to 20. He kind of sees the bottom right about now. Moon Carl, he's got BTC going up to 6 million. Wow, very bullish there. And I'm not sure how many people actually paid attention to that prediction there. He was sticking with the Brock Pierce sort of outlandish prediction style. But it did seem to have an effect on his coin. Casta is his coin. He started this coin about 3-4 months ago. It was up yesterday, 23%. Literally every single other coin in the top 1,000 was down. Casta, Carl's coin, was up just based upon the popularity of his CNBC interview and his $6 million BTC prediction. Not bad. See, cast the #1 trending token on Lunar Crush. They haven't really performed that good price-wise. This is their 3 to 4 month chart. Not great, but hey, at least they were green in a sea of red yesterday. What else is going on? Tom Brady gets a 10-year, $375 million announcing deal from Fox Sports. So, that's pretty big money right there. So this is when he retires. It doesn't say when he's going to retire. He hasn't decided that yet, but he's making $37 million a year to announce Fox Sports Sunday Football. So Tom, when he retires, will be staying very busy. So Tom and Giselle were at the FTX Crypto Bahamas conference a couple weeks ago. So here's Giselle. It looks like she's having a little harder to tell the extent of how good a time she's having, but Tom is just having a blast. Here's he and Sam were hanging out down here, backstage. They even gave Twitter Greg a shout out. If you're on crypto Twitter, you definitely know this guy, Greg. They gave him a little Instagram Live shout out. So Tom is really sort of living the crypto spirit there, and he will be staying very busy when he retires between the football announcing and the crypto. What else is going on in the news? Australia, their 3 spot ETFs are finally launching this week. These were delayed last week, as I think I discovered that. So it was just sort of technical delays. One of the service provider downstream wanted to do a few more final checks just to make sure the systems were going to be up and running and flawless once they were started. This sort of stuff happens. Hiccups, the 3 exchange. So it's going to be one BTC spot ETF from a company called Cosmos Asset Management, and then there will be a separate BTC and Ethereum spot ETF, a company called 21 Shares, and then there's a 4th one launching next week. So remember, this is not a futures ETF, which the U.S. has and tons of countries have. This is a spot ETF, which Canada has, Australia now has, a few small countries in Europe have, but the U.S. does not have. And in a flat market, the legalization of a spot ETF is one thing that would definitely create some positive momentum, just because it's been so many years of it. Is it going to be approved or not approved, etc.? So the U.S. would probably look at similar countries like Australia and Canada and see how successful their spot ETFs were, how popular they were as well. So if this goes off without hiccups and it proves to be popular, could influence the U.S. finally approving a spot ETF, which would be very good news for crypto. What else? So now the whole Terra Luna fiasco. So it's what was going on. It's obviously here's the Terra coin. It just plunged yesterday. It was pretty ugly, down 51%. I think it's down around 40%. Currently, Terra Luna, so they're at 91 cents. They've recovered, sort of. This is their stable coin. It should be at $1, so it hit a low of 66 cents and then recovered to 91 cents. So what's going on here? And then so is the stable coin going to go back to $1? And then the regular Terra coin, what is it going to recover at all, or is it done? Or basically what happens is stable coins are either one of two things. They're either fixed supply stable coins, or they're called algorithmic stable coins. The fixed supply stable coins have reserves, and then when the stable coin price goes outside of its $1 peg, then they draw on the reserves to bring the price back to the $1 peg. On the other hand, algorithmic coins like Terra, they don't have reserves. They rely on an algorithm that tells them to either destroy or print new coins when the peg goes outside of the $1 price range. So it's just simple supply and demand, basically. When the price goes above $1, more coins are created because the excess supply lowers the price and brings it back to $1. And then when the price is below $1, then more coins are destroyed, which lesser supply then increases the price. That's just basic supply and demand inflationary principles there. So then the problem is that with UST stablecoin, if you own that, it gives you the rights to exchange that for regular Terra Luna coin at any time for the same price, $1 of one for $1 of another. So that's fine most of the time, but then if the UST stablecoin, if it goes below $1 naturally, just due to a one-off like mass sale, which is what happened yesterday, $280 million of UST was sold immediately, and that's what brought the price lower than $1. So then when that happens, then the UST holders can still trade their now less than $1 worth of UST for the greater amounts of $1 worth of Luna coins, which is an arbitrage trade. And then once some of them take advantage of that, it's going to widen the spread even more, and then more traders are going to take advantage of that. And the problem is that to enable each of those trades to go through, a new Luna coin has to be created to replace the UST coin that's destroyed when they sell that. And so this cascading amount of arbitrage trades, what it does is it does effectively work to bring the stablecoin price back to $1 because the UST is constantly being destroyed during these arbitrage trades. And that's what happened here. Terra is going back to $1. But the Luna, the main coin, that price stays low because new Luna coins kept on being minted in the last 24, 48 hours, created to replace the destroyed UST coin. And so that excess supply caused that price to just tank, and that's down 50%. So it's looking like the stablecoin will recover to its $1 peg, which is good. Will Terra recover? I don't know. I definitely don't think it's going to zero. I think the stablecoin will go to $1. I think Terra will recover. I think it's kind of a good buy in the dip opportunity. I think it's going to go up. It's probably not going to ever reach the highs it was at, but I do think this is a good buy in the dip opportunity. The price is probably a little lower than people expected, just because of all the FUD surrounding this incident. It was kind of a big deal, but still, there's always going to be excess selling, a little more selling than's necessary in situations like this. So that's what happened there. So yeah, I think that's a good buy and dip opportunity there. That's it for today. I'll be back with a new episode tomorrow. Catch everyone later.